Okay, so it's time to start on the memory garden project now. The gardeners want 3 more zones connecting to the memory garden. We do have a hunter controller here, which has only got 1 station used at the moment. So we're going to take advantage of this and use some of the spur stations on here. And if you follow me up here, where the zones are, the farthest zone is right against that fence line all the way down there. So we've got a long ways to go. We've got water down there about where Dan is standing there. So we're lucky we've got water, but obviously we've got no electrical wires. So we have to take the electrical wires from the control box there, using some conduit under the building here. We're then going to come along here with a trencher and put conduit with wires into the ground. Okay, so we've had a good day today, made some progress, so a quick update. We're at the far end now where we're connecting into the water before we go to the zones. If you remember, we've got a shut-off valve here from the main water supply, which then leads into this manifold which we've built and installed today. So if you look down inside here, this first item is a pressure reducer and a filter. That then splits and goes to 3 solenoids. This is where we need to wire back to the controller 300 feet that way. Each of these will then exit to one of the particular zones. So it's a good point to leave it at the moment. We've got water pressure on here now, the valve is switched on, the solenoids are all holding, we've got no leaks. We're ready for the next stage, which we'll get on to next week. Okay, so last week we got the manifold prepared. Now we need to do some trenching. Normally I use Dana for the trenching, but he's balked at the 200-foot run, so we've actually rented a trenching machine today. That's over funny. Here. We've already pulled the first trench down here. This is going to be water lines to zones 2 and 3 down here. We have a hole in the side of the box ready for taking the conduit, and this is where the wiring's going to go. So we're going to trench up here now. We're just lining things up, get a 45 on, and then straight down here, heading all the way towards the box. And then we'll build conduit in there and pull wire through it to get wire from the controller box down to the manifold down here with the 3 solenoids. So easy peasy. Easy peasy. Well, easier now that you have a machine, right, Dana? I still prefer the manual one. I find the manual neater and tidier, but...
he's also more entertaining. Here comes Dana. He's jealous. Look at him.
Okay, so we've finished the trenching now. If you see down here, you can see the trench line all the way down. This is the line for the conduit. So we're feeding the wire through the conduit piece by piece and building the conduit into the trench. We've got a 7-core wire, which we'll be using for the solenoids, and a white one, which is going to be the common. So there's going to be 8 wires through this. Why? We've got 3 solenoids at the end, plus the common makes 4, 3 breakout boxes for potential expansion makes 7, and then 1 spare in case anything ever goes wrong. So we need 8 wires, and that's why we've got 7 plus 1.
Oh, I see. That's what a 7-core wire is.
Yes.
There's 7 wires inside that black
that
tubing.
One, and that's what we're going to need for the solenoid.
All
and
right.
We're going to strap this big white one to the side so we know easily which the common one is.
Okay, I got it.
So we put a little bit of tape on every 3 feet to keep the wire together. Makes it easier to pull through. And if you walk down here with me,
okay,
we're going to eventually build the conduit back under the shed and take it round to the controller, but that's going to be right at the end. We've now got these connections through here.
Yeah.
And we come into the first breakout box. What we're going to do eventually is leave enough wire like this that's going to curl up in there, and then that wire is going to go straight down there. Then if we ever need to add another junction box, we can pull it out, work on it easily, cut into there, get a conductor and put a solenoid in for another zone.
How much wire are we going to keep in there, Steve?
I'd say about that much, eh? Because I like to work at, I don't like to be down in the mud when I'm splicing things.
Well, I knew the answer, I just want to make sure Kate, because Kate didn't know what the answer was.
So we'll do that much. This is going to go on there, go into the box as well, and then we'll curl that into there. At the end, for now, we have to keep pulling the cable because we need to get it all the way, the whole 300 feet, 350 feet.
Yeah, that
and
looks
then we'll
fun.
pull slack into each of these junction boxes.
Okay, I got
But that's the first potential breakout box if they ever want to zone over here. We are ready. They said they don't need it, but that means definitely they will need it sooner or later, so we're putting it in. Okay, so we're coming up towards the control end now. If you look down here, we've already trenched and laid conduit with wire all the way down there. You can see the path. At this end now, we're now getting to the point where we've got enough cable here to go under the building, along and up, and we're about to cut it here.
Oh,
As you can see,
under the building.
We've been super cautious. We've got more than enough length. We'll now cut it here and then build our conduit in under the building, underneath, and then come up the side here and into the controller. And we've got the box here. We're just getting some fittings for this now, and then we'll connect into here and connect the wiring at this side. Then we'll connect the wiring at the other side, hopefully later today, and check it out.
Okay.
So here we are at the solenoid end now. This is where the wire's coming out all the way from 250 feet that way. I've already labeled 3 colors here, zones 11, 10 and 9. They will control the 3 solenoids here, which will control the 3 beds in memory garden, and these will connect into the controller at the other end. I'll show you how we check continuity when we get down to that end. So just for grins, let's tie together white, which is common, onto the blue. When I measure at the other end now with my meter, we should have continuity. So it should come all the way down on the blue, connect to the white, go all the way back to the white. So I'll just show you that. I've already done that before, of course, but I'll just show you how it's done. And then once we get all the piping finished, we will connect the solenoid wires into here, program the controller, and we should be in business. But we've still got a little bit to do on the piping. So now let's just go down the other end and we'll look at that controller. We'll just check a continuity measurement on the blue wire.
And
we'll
for the record, it wasn't just the guys that did it, because now our latest member of the irrigation team, new graduate Adley. And so y'all got the youngest person in the class, so, you know.
She wanted to come to the group with the most energy.
Yeah, I mean, right? I know.
Okay, so we've now filled in the trench here. We've brought the conduit with the wire under the building. Comes up here, we've got a junction box, and we've gone into the controller. Open up the controller, and you can see we've got all of these wires in here now. The 3 wires that we have down at the far side is the green, the blue, and the red. And I've already got those connected at the moment. These are the spare wires we talked about. We've got a spare wire goes all the way to the end if we want to add another zone. And we've got 3 breakout wires for zones potential halfway down the conduit, again with access points. Now, when we left the far side, we just connected the blue wire to the white wire, and I'll just show you how we check for continuity. Just take the meter, connect between the common and the blue, and that should come down to 0 ohm meters, or fairly close, 3.8 ohms. So there we know we've got good continuity. This blue wire goes all the way to the far end, connects to the white, comes all the way back to this white, and I'm measuring across here so we know that we've got continuity.
Right.
And that's how we do each one as the zones go on.
Okay.
We're lucky with this wire, everything's color coded, so it makes life a little bit simpler. So we have a compact box, everything's in here though now, and then we'll have 3 new zones ready for connecting as soon as we've got the water connected.
All right, excellent.
Okay, so this phase of the project is now just about to wrap. We've got all the solenoids electrically wired in, all the plumbing is done. We pressure tested the plumbing before we covered it all in with the soil, and we've test fired the solenoid using the controller at the other end of the gardens there. So now the situation is we've got 3 uprights coming out the ground here, and you can see those 3 will be where we connect drip hosing zones, 3 zones to cover the natives in the memory garden. So that's the next phase of this project. But for now, everything works down here. We've got water, electricity, and control of those 3 zones from the controller.
Excellent.
So we're in good shape.
All right, so we'll check back in with you when it's time to install the drip hosing.
Exactly, and then we
All
can
right.
do some drip hosing together.
All right, perfect. Thank you.